Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Hey everybody, this is Jackie Bertoni, Jackie's Groove, brought to you by Intertalk Radio Network. Hey everybody, it's a beautiful day. It is the 3rd of November here in Southern California. It's an unusual day. Let me explain. We've got two legends on the line with us right now. We have, number one, we have Mr. Bill Champlin in Tarzana in his luxury homestead, I'm sure. We also have Hall of Famer Mr. Danny Seraphine in La Paz, Mexico, outside in a cafe. And you have myself, Jackie Bertoni, sitting at Temecula Valley Hospital, laying on my back under the direction of Dr. Brett Abshire and Dr. Rami Multi after a spinal stenosis back surgery. But I did not want to miss this performance tonight, guys. It's going to be a pleasure. So I'm sitting here a little bit high on Oxycontin, but you know what? It's not the first time, and it won't be the last. So with that said, guys, I want everybody to welcome with open arms and open ears to the show. Both have been on my show previously. We got a lot to talk about. So welcome, Mr. Bill Champlin and also Mr. Danny Seraphine. Welcome, boys, Jackie's Groove.
Hey, would it be?
Hey, Jackie. It's good to be with your brother, and good to be with my brother Bill, who I'm going to see in a couple days.
Well, maybe.
Billy, how you doing, Bill?
I'm doing good. Okay, about ready to.
Do we have you online, Bill?
To head on down to San Diego. I haven't been down there in a while. It'll be fun. Kind of a cool place.
I've got Danny, but I'm not hearing Bill.
Now this is the same place that Anthology used to be, right?
Yes.
Am I correct? The Music Box, right? Yeah.
Yes.
It was, man, when we played it before, it was like we considered it one of the best gigs in California. So I mean, the best buildings, the stage was great, the PA was great. So I'm sure if they have all that stuff still going on, we're talking about a really good venue and a really good sound. So, and I remember at least with the Anthology, the food was a top drawer. So I mean, it should be a really good night for everybody.
Yeah, man. Last time I was there and saw you, Bill, you had my boy Larry Braggs and on stage, and it was killing. Again, that was at Anthology. And yes, Bill, it's changed. The interior's different, but the vibe overall is the same, and the food is killing it. So we're here to promote it, man. We're here to promote CTA this coming Saturday, the 5th, at the Music Box in San Diego. Guys, what are we expecting? What are we going to be looking at in the way of members of the band? Talk.
We've got we've got myself on drums, Bill on vocals and keyboards. Bill's son Will is going to be singing lead, fronting the band. The great Mark Bonilla on lead guitar and vocals, and equally great Ed Roth on keyboards, and then Travis Davis on vocals and bass. You know, he sings his ass off. And we have a really great horn section. We call them the West Side Horns. So they're some great players, Alex Budman, Nick Daly, and God, I can't remember the trumpet player's name, but he's a sub for our usual. But it's going to be a great band and a great evening of music. You know, we're going to cover
I brought Alex in on a recording date the other day and had him play a solo for me. And man, that guy's ridiculous. He's just as good as it gets. It's great sax player.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a great sax player. And we're going to have a guest artist by the name of Daryl F. Walker, I think it is.
Daryl Fitzgerald. Absolutely.
He's going to fit in with it. Yeah, man, it's going to be a great show. And thanks, you guys really helped us put this together, so I can't thank you enough. It's been too long since I've played and the band has played San Diego. Last time was Anthology, and 3-4 years ago, at least, I think, maybe more. too long. So looking forward to getting back to San Diego.
And also Daryl, the gentleman you just met, Daryl Fitzgerald Walker. Daryl is also an amazing saxophonist, and he also fronts Greg Adams' band, East Bay Soul. And so Daryl is...
Then I've heard him. He's a great singer.
Amazing, big fan of yours, Bill and Tamara. Sings your music and sings the music from CTA, sings the music from Chicago, and definitely your solo stuff also. So let's move forward here, man. Let's talk about CTA. You guys have been touring. The last thing I knew you guys were in a wonderful little area called St. Charles, Illinois. And from what I understand, you guys literally killed it. How was the overall feeling on stage itself? How were you guys deciphering what songs are going to be played per set? And with that said, what are we looking at this coming Saturday? How are we going to split it up?
Well, Bill, why don't you take that one?
Well, we do a good handful of Chicago stuff, but we do it kind of our own way, and with you kind of rearranged it up and like, a handful of stuff. I mean, a lot of the stuff on the CTA albums is really, really good. I know Will sings. We rehearsed. I don't know whether it's on the list this time, but we rehearsed a song that Will wrote for the last CTA album called. What's it called, Dan? Oh my God!
Strike while the iron's hot.
Strike while the iron's hot. That's just an awesome piece. We've done quite a bit of stuff off the CTA stuff, and actually the last gig we played was up in Jackson, California, at a casino up there. It was just a monstrous gig, just insanely great. The audience was just flipping. It was, and the same thing with St. Charles. Whenever we play there, it's that theater is really cool, and they pack it right to the rafters, and it's just always just a great night for music. Like really cool. And Bill, I think on that one we had Donnie Dacus sitting in with us too, which was kind of a rare thing.
And Bill, let's let everybody know too the fact. Let's let everybody know too the fact that how well your son Will did on The Voice. I mean, he took it out, man. He killed it. For those who don't realize that, go back, Google Will Champlin, and check out what this boy did. He killed it, and he's a lot to be proud of. But the genes that he comes out. And speaking of this weekend, is Tamara going to be coming in, Bill? That you want to share with anybody? Is she going to be singing at all with you guys?
Say it again.
Is Tamara coming down to San Diego?
On the telephone. I'm sorry, but repeat the question. I'm hearing noises I can't hear.
We're going to come in. Is Tamara going to come down to San Diego at all?
I don't think so this time, but next time we play down there, we'll probably have her come down. We're doing a gig the next night up in Santa Barbara with Pockets, which is Eddie Taduri's thing, and it's a benefit for TRAP, TRAP, which is I'm not sure exactly what it stands for, but what it is takes kids with Down syndrome and autistic kids and stuff like that, and kind of brings them out of themselves with rhythm. And it's a very, very cool thing. Airto Morieta plays with us usually every year. A lot of really great players. Bill Bodine plays. Tata Vega's going to sing. Amy Holland's going to bring her guys in, and she's going to do a handful of music this time, which means that her husband Mike may come in and sing a song or two. So it's kind of a cool thing. So we're going to San Diego, and then boom, right back up to Santa Barbara, getting the lower half of the state covered this week.
It's funny that you corrected the fact because Amy has been using McDonald as her last name more now than she's ever has in the way of Holland, and I've had both of them on, and she's got an amazing voice. A new album called "The Light on My Path" that's killing it also. Really so, yeah, man. So with that said, going back to
when she had her first records out. I mean, Mike and I started working together doing vocal dates. God, man, it was when I was doing my first album. So it had to be 1977, 78, and we've kind of known each other run at each other off and on for years, and every time we work together, it's always a kick in the ass. And Amy is as good as anybody out there. She's a great singer.
Absolutely.
Really good singer.
Yeah. You talk about Mike, and you talk about Bill, two white boys with the most soulful voices that have placed a thumbprint on American soul itself. Everything you did for all the years that you were with Chicago, and with this situation, when you're on stage with your band CTA, is there any fond, I hate to sound really naive when I say this, but does any fond memories come back when you're nailing a Chicago tune and putting your own twist on your own tune that's different than they've done?
Not Not particularly. I mean, it's just it's basically 4 bars of this chord, 4 bars of that chord, 4 bars of the next chord. That's what's usually on your mind when you're playing, is to make sure that the music is correct. And I don't really think of it that much. I mean, it probably means more to Dan because he was there at the beginning. He was really there at the very beginning of it, and it really means a lot to Danny. And it probably brings up quite a few great memories of giant buildings filled with people. You know what I mean? And we had a little bit of that when I was with the band. There was 17 was kind of did pretty well, and then we had a couple hits here and there. But it was never quite the same thing for me. So I mean, like I say, I think it probably but I think it means a lot to the people in the audience to hear the music being played kind of the way it was originally played, just sort of right by the seat of the pants at some level, rather than as controlled as it has been in the last 10 or 15 years.
Yeah, let me ask you this question with regards to the songs. One of my favorite songs from Mr. Seraphine has always been, Street Player. Are you guys playing that at all with CTA, out of curiosity?
No, but we haven't.
No, we haven't worked that into the set yet, have we, Bill?
Pardon me?
Hello? We haven't worked. You asked if we asked if we're performing Street Player, right?
Yeah.
Jackie?
Yeah,
man, because we haven't learned that yet.
Chicago.
But I'd like
a lot of delay.
I'd like to.
Yeah, we'll maybe get around.
I'm sorry.
But the thing that's really cool is we're doing "Take Me Back to Chicago," which is a great piece that Danny and Hawk, I think, wrote together. Hawk Walensky. They
right.
And I actually think they wrote Street Player also. So I mean, it's kind of cool to get that side of the writing of the earlier band. You know what I mean?
Hey, gentlemen, let me ask you this question: are there songs when you're in with CTA that the audience yells out that's a Chicago tune that you guys really don't have a need to play at all, and how do you stay away from that if that comes up?
Danny, are you by any chance? Dan, question: are you by any chance in the wind? Are you sitting outside?
Sort of. I think I sort of am. Yeah. Let me.
Yeah. Because the wind is hitting your phone, and I can't hear a word that Jackie's saying.
It's breaking out. Let me try to find
I'm going to jump in here, guys. This is Florentino. I just want to jump in and let all the listeners know we're live on Facebook right now, by the way, guys, and it's pretty awesome. This is our first time doing a simulcast with Facebook Live as well as on our own website, entertalkradio.com. And on top of that, Jackie's in the hospital speaking on Skype on his phone, which is pretty amazing. And then Danny's in Mexico, so we're going to have a little delay with everything. We want to wish everybody well with this, and thank you very much for coming in. But I just wanted to jump in and let everybody know that as a technical feat, this is like a first. So really appreciate you guys.
All we got to do is get the wind out of the phone, and everything sounds actually really good. But the wind is kind of making it hard to hear things.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and find out.
I spent top dollar on my hearing loss.
There you go. Absolutely.
Marshall costs a lot, let me tell you.
Let me go back to that question again, guys, and if I didn't get an answer out of it. When you're playing with CTA, when the two of you are up there doing your thing with CTA, audience members are yelling out, if they are, I'm sure, I can't believe they wouldn't be. Let's say they're yelling out a Chicago tune that is either in your repertoire, but is there a song that you guys don't want to play, a Chicago tune you don't want to play with CTA, out of curiosity?
Well, there's lots of them for me. I don't know. That's the one you should probably hit Danny with.
Danny, go ahead.
Well, the thing, the answer is pretty much there isn't really anything that I don't want to play. But, we kind of try to stick with, obviously with Bill, we cover the 80s really well. We do Hear the Inspiration. We do Hard Habit to Break. We do Bill's, I can't, Look Away. I Can't Live Without Your Love, and I Don't Want to Live. And then we do a lot of this stuff from the 70s. And we don't do much from the Hot Streets era. We hit like Street Player. We don't. I mean, it's possible that someday it might work its way into the set. But if something was really popular, and for me, it's almost nostalgia. Like we just started performing Just You and Me, and
nice.
And It's a great tune.
Especially when you got
it's
Alex
a great song. Yeah, we got Alex. It's a great tune, and we got a great horn section, and we do this song so well. And Bill is even Bill is even singing it right now, which gives it a totally different twist, which really makes it even cooler. And for me to pull out, does anybody know what time it is? It's a great feeling for me to play those songs because I helped invent them, and they helped invent me. The sense of styles. So. I have, like Bill said, I have a probably a stronger tie to the early Chicago.
Right,
Bill's tie is more to the Chicago, but it's still the combination of Bill and I on the show is you really get the best of both worlds. You get the strength of the late '60s, '70s, and the best tunes, I think. And there's maybe a few that we're missing, and then you get the '80s, which Bill was such a big part in the band. So. There's a great cross section of material performed at a really high level. I mean, we have because Bill is a stickler with vocals, and he's a great singer. So the background vocals are always so strong, along with the music, because we're used to the music being strong. But sometimes the background vocals, a lot of bands today they have to have tracks and stuff like that, but we don't because we usually have such great singers singing the parts that they sound great. So. I think we can produce and even in some ways surpass, the original.
Let's talk about those singers, too. You just mentioned singers now. I'm familiar with you guys across with Larry Braggs, formerly with Tower Power, now with the Temptations. I'm not really hip to the brother that fills in or sings when Larry's not there. And when was the last time you had Alex Lidgerwood singing with you guys? Do you miss Alex's voice?
He's never. I love Alex's voice. Alex is one of my favorite singers in the world. But Alex spends a whole lot of time.
Maybe one day we need to.
Alex spends a lot of time in Europe. I mean, he's got a band that he tours around France a lot. So it's not the guy that you can kind of count on. And Tony Grant has been singing with us a lot. And Tony is a member of As Yet, which is one of the premier vocal groups in the world.
Hey guys, we got about 30 seconds left, so I just want to let you know the clock is coming in, and we're going to be coming to our next commercial break. But I want everybody to stay tuned because this is an amazing historical event for us. About 10 seconds left. Jackie, you want to close us out?
Yeah, brother. So what we're going to do is when we come back, I'm going to talk about what we're going to look for in the way of a set list. If you guys want to kind of give a little sneak to everybody out there.
We're going to have go-go cages, and Trixie and Cinnamon are going to dance.
I love it. In fact,
can't wait, guys.
They're coming on the line.
Put some butts in the seats. What do you think?
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to hear that bumper music in the background. We'll bring Trixie in. We get a chance here.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on Intertalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Hey, it's Tracy Smith
and Beth Venus
of Girls Talk Rock right here on the Intertalk Radio Network.
Every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific.
Okay, Beth, they know that, but we want you to know that the industry pro's choice is Silver Tiger Production.
STP is a full-service production agency offering sound, lighting, installations, talent buying, staffing, backline equipment rental, and sales. Kapow!
It's everything in the entertainment performance industry. It's all that. SilverTigerProduction.com.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Hey, man, welcome back, everybody. This is Jackie Bertoni, part of Jackie's Groove, brought by the Internet Talk Radio Network. Guys, does anybody know
Jackie, real quick, who was that singing on that?
Who is that? I'm asking you the question there.
I don't know. Who was that?
That's Wes, Bill. That's
Wes. It's Wes. Okay. Yeah, Wes is okay too, man. Right.
Yeah, man, let me just tell you guys, do you know what time it is? I do. I know it's time to get back to this amazing conversation we've got, Mr. Danny Seraphine.
Okay,
in La
one
Paz,
quick
Mexico.
one for Danny before we get to it. What do you think of that little business last night in Chicago, or in Cleveland there, Dan?
Congratulations, Cubs.
That was great, Bill. That's a great moment in baseball.
That was one bitch. It was the only baseball game I watched all year. It was the only one worth watching as far as I'm concerned. Man, it was great watching it, man. It was so cool.
It was a tremendous game, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. I'm so happy for Peter Cetera as a diehard Cub fan, so I was texting with Peter the whole game down in Mexico watching it, and we were like,
"Oh, cool!"
So it was really cool. I'm so happy for him because he's I'm a White Sox fan, but I'm so happy for the Cubs. And my dad died at broken heart.
I always remember him being pretty much of a Cubby nut. You know, Michael Lombardi is a great piano player and producer. He's one of those guys that just followed those guys around everywhere. I think it was the Cubs. It was either the Cubs or the Sox. But I think it was the Cubs. I think he was just a gone. You know, he'd just get on a plane and wherever they were playing a game, he was all over the place, and probably still is. So if it's Cubs that he was run, I mean, I didn't pay much attention to it because I'm not that much of a baseball fan, but it was pretty cool to see it, man. When you get a really great music producer with a mitt and a ball, sitting, throwing the ball at the wall while you're doing vocals, it's pretty nutty.
Danny, I was talking to Todd Zuckerman during the whole thing. So Todd is definitely blown out of the water, and so happy that they said the curse is broken. So I can only imagine the ongoing parties it's going to be. What a time right now for CTA to be in Chicago playing right now. Wouldn't that be a kick in the ass?
Right. Well, I mean, I think we kind of saw the same thing come down about, I guess it was maybe almost 10 years ago when Boston finally got in. I mean, it had eluded them for the same thing. The same kind of thing happened. That city was just freaked for weeks.
Hey guys,
my son was actually he was in school in Boston at the time. And he just said, "I'm just not going out tonight. This is just too funky. This is too crazy. That people are just going crazy out there." I bet you the same in Chicago.
Let me ask you a question, Bill. Let me ask you a question, Dan. Speaking of Chicago, let me ask you a question. How do you think, if it hasn't happened already, how would the audience in Chicago accept CTA? What are your feelings overall on that?
Well, St. Charles is close to Chicago, and we usually do really well in there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, is there any animosity or that?
Yeah, they would. I mean, we do well in Chicago because, like Bill said, St. Charles is right outside, and you get many people from Chicago. And we've played Chicago, although it's been a while, but it's always people. How could they not love the band? It's so good, and we play the music so well. Plus, we play our own music, mixed in. They love the band.
What are the chances, if anything at all? Would there ever be a chance for Peter Cetera to come and join you guys at all? Is there an open invitation at all?
Well, Peter has his own band and he does his own gigs, and he's really happy. He's so happy doing it that we don't even really kind of cross that bridge. It's just,
okay, cool.
He's doing what he's doing, and he's really enjoying it. And, every time whenever I talk with Peter and we're talking music, he's just as happy as a lark.
Good.
He's got
good. That's all that matters.
He's playing guitar with him, and Chris is just is amazing, amazing singer and guitar player. I mean, all the cats that he's got in his band are they got a groove going, and I really understand it. So, man, you just want to stick with this, I mean, and I think that's where Peter's at. He's just happy with his band the way.
Yeah, he's very happy in the space he's in. I mean,
right?
You never say never, but it's not something I expect to happen, to be honest. So,
and
it'd be great.
Bill,
I'll tell you what, we would kill with Peter, Bill, and I. We would absolutely kill. Bring Donnie in for some things, man. It'd be awesome.
Only imagine it. And quick question, but I actually want to say one thing, Bill. If you don't mind, I want to dedicate today's show and to your son who we lost last month. God rest his soul. I hope you don't mind me bringing that up. But our condolences from Intertalk Radio, Jackie's Groove, to the Champlin family on the loss of your eldest. So. With that said, I got to throw it out there to you.
He had a lot of problems over his life, but he was a butt kicking drummer, and I got to give him that. To this day, he's one of my wife's favorite singers. I mean, he sang. Whenever he sang, it was like you were reminded more of like Paul Rogers or something. And Brad was really good, and then he's been fighting cancer for about 2.5, almost 3 years. So it just finally beat his ass. That's the way it got. It's just
God rest his soul, brother. And as the old cliche, he's finally at peace.
Yeah,
that's the way you got to look at it. So stepping out of that, let's
pain
move.
that in some ways it was a relief because
of course.
It was just steady, regularly all the time. It wasn't kicking back at all. Anyway, enough of that. Let's move on.
Let's move on. Let's talk about the consortium of CTA moving down to San Diego on the 5th, this coming Saturday. What is this packed audience going to be looking for? What's in store for them?
It's drums, bass, guitar, horns, and singing.
Again,
and keyboard.
You got to be careful asking Champlin a serious question. Okay, listen. We're going to do
stellar performances on all of them.
And you guys, and the listening audience out there, do yourselves a favor, the listening audience out there. We want this place to be oversold, as we've been really, really successful. So do yourselves a favor, go on to the Music Box SD, musicboxsd.com, and get your tickets now, because this is something that's not an everyday thing to have the boys down here in San Diego. In this neck of the woods. So, do me a favor, lighten your wallet a little bit. It's not a big money to spend, but definitely you want to thank everybody after seeing this show. It's going to be a killer, you guys. And talking about killer-wise, is there anything coming up in the way of recording for CTA that I don't know about that you want to share with the audience?
No, nothing yet. We're talking about possibly wanting to do another CD, and I think we should with Bill involved. Right, Bill? Right, we kind of,
fine.
We would love to.
Bill,
I would love to do a record with Bill.
Bill, you're really active right now. The Sons are really kicking. I mean, Sons of Champlin and you and Tamara. What's going on with that? What can we see more of this situation of you guys?
The Sons are actually doing New Year's at a place where Vallejo is, which is up a little bit north of Oakland. And there's a theater in Vallejo, Empress Theater, which is actually just across the bay from Marin County, where we all grew up. And the Sons are doing a New Year's gig then, and that should be pretty much of a kicker. We're going to have our regular band, which is Carmen Grillo is the guitar player in the band. Tamara and I sing, so the three of us are singing, and that right there is nastier than sin.
Absolutely.
We're kicking pretty hard on that. We got Alan Hertz who playing drums with us since Jim Preston passed away about 4 years ago, and Alan's been playing ever since. Alan plays with Scott Henderson. And also Alan's a great engineer and record mixer, and he's unbelievable in the studio. And then we have Jeff Palmer playing with us. Tim Kaine, the original sax player and arranger in the band, is playing with the band. Jeff Lewis on trumpet. It's really, really a cool band. There's just a really fun hang. And we're not. At one time, we were really like, okay, we're just going to play over everybody's heads as much as we can. At this point of the game, we're just playing to really connect with the audience and just have as much fun as possible. And that's what it's kind of turned out to be. It's just Tal Morris is going to sit in with us, and Tal played guitar with us for a while. So it's really a fun hang. If anybody's in Northern California on New Year's, there we go. It's the Empress Theater, great venue, great stage, great PA, great food. I mean, it's all swinging.
Bill, I always remember this. Jerry Lopez, our mutual friend from Santa Fe and the Fat Sadie Horns in Las Vegas, he always loves
the
story.
And the best rhythm guitar player on the earth.
Amazing. And he's always shared, even when you're not there, he's always talked to the audience about a little anecdote, something that you said about a crowd. I don't know if it was overseas that was really, really digging you. And he said he always wanted to make a T-shirt with the words on. Do you want to share that statement that came out, like, I love it when they dig me? Go ahead and say that line.
Yeah. Well, man, we were playing a gig. I was playing there was a song I had on one of my solo albums called Thunder. It was a real beautiful little piece. It was mostly just acoustic guitar and vocal for most of the way. Band kicks in on verse 2, right? One of those kind of things. And I'm singing this song, and there's two guys. This is in Sweden. There wasn't a really big crowd, but there was two guys that were dancing in front, clapping their hands in a different time, going, "Yay, Bill Champlin! Yay, Bill Champlin! Yay, Bill Champlin!" And I was trying to sing this song while these guys were doing this, and they were clapping their hands to another song. They was dancing to a different drummer, if you know what I mean. And so at some point after the show, like then we got back to playing louder music, and everybody was cool, and everybody was happy. And I got backstage, and I just looked at the band and just went, we're all sitting around having a Coke or something. I just said, I dig it when they dig me, but when they dig me like that, I don't dig it.
I thought that to
and
me,
Lopez just went, oh, man, this is cool. Now, dig this. Look, cut to the chase 25 years later, maybe 20 years later.
Right.
I was still with Chicago at the time, and we're sharing the stage with the Doobie Brothers. Right. Now, the Doobie Brothers bass player is a guy named Skylark who was with them. I think he had a stroke at some point and kind of had to bail out. And so they have a different bass player now. But at the time, Skylark was playing and singing with him. He's a great musician, just a monstrous guy. And at the end of the show, both bands would go up, hold hands, and take a big bow. And I was always on stage right, and Skylark would be the one on the end, and I'd be next to him. And we're all taking a bow. While we're taking a bow, Skylark goes into my ear. He just talks into my ear. He says, "I dig it when they dig me, but when they dig me like that, I don't dig it." The two of us just lost it. We got standing on the stage just laughing. Everybody was leaving. I couldn't even walk. I was losing it so hard. It was just, and Skylark lived in Vegas, so I went, oh, Lopez got to him. I can see this. So
absolutely.
It was just a sneaky little back alley thing that was so typical of Jerry. And Jerry's one of my all-time favorite people, and one of the best singers and guitar players there is.
And I got to tell you, and I want to jump right back to you real quick, Danny. I noticed that you have been doing some clinics.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Are there clinics? Are you got clinics coming up that you want to share with the listening audience? Or any clinics that they can come see the infamous Danny Seraphine?
I'm booking. Well, I have one. Let me just go back to the question you asked about what people could expect.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let me get that answered correctly.
Please.
They're going to hear me Chicago music played the way they haven't heard it in a long time. Okay, played and sung the way they haven't heard it in a long time. And there's going to be special guests, Daryl Walker, and it's going to be a great night of music. And really, as good as, like I say, this band is as good as any band in the world, in my opinion. So,
okay, now with that said, and I can respect that, you're saying playing the way playing the way the songs should be played. No,
the way it hasn't been played in a long time. The way they haven't heard it in a long time.
The way they originally were recorded, the way they should have been transposed originally. Because I know that Chicago
Live. It's just like more in the style of the original California Chicago Transit Authority, and you've got great players across the board and great singers, and the music is being played with a lot of integrity and.
Well, I think what it is, a lot of what it is there was a certain energy applied to that music at a certain time in Chicago's career. When they recorded it, they were swinging hard. I mean, they were really swinging a bat, and you could feel it on the record. There was just excitement, just oozing from that music. It hasn't been exciting for a long time.
Let me ask you this question. What is your feelings, the fact, I know it's even brought up a question, but the departure of Jason Scheff after 30 years, shocking or not?
No, it's not. It doesn't. Nothing surprises me at this point of the game. But that's something that maybe you should talk with Jason about, as opposed to me or Danny, for that matter.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Just want to kind of get if there was a feeling at all, and and just to feel what the overall was.
The main thing is the difference is that there's not a lot of It's not like we're playing it every single night. We are so happy to play together when we do play together that it just comes off the stage in waves. And it's undeniable that it's just got a certain energy. And, it may not be the perfect, exactly like the record thing that everybody seems to want to do, and the extra background vocals and the extra doubled horns and the this and the that and all the other crap that's going on with a lot of bands, not just those guys, but we just kind of we throw it down the way it was thrown down with the original band. We just play it and stand and deliver. That's the whole vibe, and it's not about it's really not about attempting to be somebody you used to be. It's who we are this minute playing right now, and that's how the stuff was recorded.
Exactly.
And Bill, I got to tell you, one of my
any
favorite
better
songs.
myself. Well done, Bill. Well done.
By the way,
one of my favorite songs,
we got
Bill,
2
that
minutes,
you've written,
guys.
you penned. To this day, when I'm in Vegas, I can't wait to. I want to hear it with you guys. CTA, if it's being played, but a song called "Love Is Gonna Find You." Are you playing that with CTA?
Wow. That would probably be a cool tune with CTA, but I did it as a duet with Tamara. We are doing "Turn Your Love Around," and that's smoking like a freight train.
Oh,
that's some of those grooves are just so they got DS written all over them. It's Dan Seraphine's. This should have been on it in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you guys,
it's a great. We do a great version of it. I agree, Bill.
And for the listening audience out there,
when I recorded it, I actually did the I did all that stuff. I programmed it, which was not so great.
And for the listening audience that's not hip to it, guys, go to YouTube and type in Santa Fe and the Fat City Horns, Bill and Tamara Champlin, and be amazed. There's even a song where Will comes up and joins the band, and I got to tell you, my favorite part of it, not when Will was killing it on keyboards and vocals, but it's the fact that Bill and Tamara were hanging out backstage, and you can see them during the whole performance of 2 of the proudest parents just loving every minute of that. Do you remember that night, Bill?
Now, dig this. Yeah, this is what kind of came down with that thing. There was a song that Will and I and actually Chaz Sanford had written together called, what was it called? All My Might was the name of the song. And Will had long since stopped performing the song, wasn't doing it. Kind of was going, Will at that point of the game, the only song he wanted to hear that he wrote was the one he wrote this morning, and Yesterday was too old. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the band I'd played the demo for Jerry, and Jerry said, "Let me have a copy of this." So he had him chart up the song.
That's the music, guys.
And put the horns on it.
Bill, I'm going to interrupt you real quick, Bill. We got that music in the background. Let's pick this up on the next segment. Great story, so don't go anywhere. Jackie's Groove, Jackie Bertoni with the Intertalk Radio Network and Danny Seraphine and Mr. Bill Champlin.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear, host of Sound Experience here on Intertalk Radio. And Source Connect by Source Element is the essential tool that we use to link between my studio in Austin, Texas and the WS radio station in San Diego. Now with Source Connect, not only can we communicate in real time and with HD audio, but it's synced up and is of a high enough quality that I can use it for real-time ADR work, remote recording and overdubbing, and it even allows me to remotely control a DAW. Source Connect by Source Element. Affordable, high-quality audio and video connection over the internet for all of your production needs.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on Intertalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Girls are talking rock again.
And people are listening.
Today we're talking bands.
Let's talk promotion. Red Giant promo, graphics, EPKs, video, photos, social media, and brand building using content marketing.
But let's talk studio at CCMA, which is events, rehearsal, tour prep, piano, guitar, voice, rock band, lessons, workshops, and clinics. Yeah!
Both proud sponsors of Girls Talk Rock.
Well, get the lowdown on these services and contact me, Tracy, at girlstalkrock.com.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Everybody, this is Jackie Bertoni. Welcome back to Jackie's Groove, part of the Intertalk Radio Network. That song, gentlemen and ladies out there listening to the song, is the guest I have on the line today. But I got to cut this really quick and short. One of the gentlemen on the line right now, Mr. Danny Seraphine, Mr. Hall of Famer, is a little bit cocky on us right now because he's had to brag to us that he's in Mexico, in La Paz, sitting out at a beautiful place on a beach, eating some great food, where Bill and I are stuck here in California. But guess what? Mr. Seraphine's his package is gonna run out, so we're gonna lose him, guys. So maybe we'll talk about him. Go ahead.
Well, it's always a small package anyway.
I knew that was.
Well, there you go.
I had to do it.
Oh God.
Sorry, guys. I had to
we can talk. Like you said, Bill, we can talk shit about him when he's off the air. He won't be able to hear it anyways, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So
mercy will be shown before it's time.
Absolutely. Hey, Bill, let's jump in this thing real quickly. We left off with your son in Las Vegas and Tamara, and yourself with Santa Fe. Do you want to finish up on that?
Yeah, well, they did this. Will had this demo that he cut, basically bass, drums, everything. He cut the whole thing on it, and I did a couple background vocals in the middle of the song, but it was really all Will on this tune, and it was so good. I mean, I played it for Bill Gibson from Huey and the News. He says, well, I know that's Abraham on the bass, but is that Vinny on the drums? I said, no, it's Will. Who's playing bass? I said, that's Will. Who's played keyboards? That's Will. I mean, he just tore this thing up. So Santa Fe, Jerry and the guys really liked it, so they actually brought it, they arranged it. They put it down, put horns on it, and got it all happening. So when we went in to play with them, they said, it was just easy to do one of those songs. We did some other songs of Will's, but this one thing, and it has a big piano solo. He built the piano solo into the arrangement. And at rehearsal, he played the piano solo, and Dave Richardson, who's the piano player in the band, who is also an amazing player.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, man. He was going, Will plays pretty good, but that at the gig, he let it fly. I mean, he let go of the reins and let the horse go. And, man, he just tore one off. It was just ridiculous. And I looked over at Dave, and Dave's jaw was on the floor. He was just going, oh, my God, this kid can play, So, I mean, Will's kind of known because of the voice and everything. He's known for his pop production and pop songwriting and stuff like that. But, man, that kid can play some piano. He's an amazing piano player.
Yeah, man. And so...
Bill's an amazing talent. Anyways, Jackie, I got to jump off, man, and I really want you to get better and feel better soon, man. I want to see you back on your feet, and I'm praying for you. You're a good, great human being, Bill. I'll see you Saturday at the Music Box, and thanks for having me on, guys. But I'm going to get back to my vacation.
Go back to your vacation, brother. Travel safe,
Danny.
and
Thanks, Danny,
everybody say goodbye to Mr. Danny Seraphine. Say goodbye to Mr. Danny fucking Seraphine. I have to say that, guys.
Danny fucking
I'll see you guys.
Seraphine.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Safe travels. All right, so now that he's gone, let's talk some shit about him, Bill.
Oh yeah, he's the worst. He's the worst person on the earth.
Let's talk about his timing and how Click Track should be his best friend. I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding, of course.
We don't play with clicks. It's as simple as that.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
He
might have a little thing just to get the count off, but once he hits the count off, it's all over with. He's just gone. We just play it.
So let me ask you this question: so are we looking at a 90-minute set? Are we looking at a 2-hour set? What are we looking at in San Diego?
Well, we're looking at a handful of very, very cool songs. I mean, we do. I'm not sure whether we're doing the one that you just played was Sacred Ground. I'm not even sure whether that's even on the list this week. We're doing Turn Your Love Around. I'm going to do Look Away. We've got really cool version of Look Away. We're doing, with an ending. It's got a big horn ending on it. It's really cool. So it's probably a little closer to my solo version that I did on my solo album. And then.
And so, Bill, speaking of solos itself, when you're playing with the band with CTA, how much is scripted, or is there a chance for everybody to kind of stretch on each song? Is it written or is it not written?
Well, there's some stuff that you got to just say if you're doing. Does anybody know what time it is? You pretty much do it the way they,
right, of
pretty
course,
much the way it is. And and over the years, I kind of developed some organ things to add to what was originally there, and I'm doing some of that. Ed's playing the straight ahead stuff. I mean, Saturday in the Park, for instance, we do, but it's we stretch it. Ed really takes some, get some piano stuff going on. And same thing with Feeling Stronger. Ed Roth's one of the best piano players out there, man. He's just such a fine player that half the reason I'm in the band is just to listen to Ed play the piano. You know what I mean?
No, I love it. And Bill, let me ask you this question for the gearheads out there. What is your setup going to be like? What are we going to look for in the way of your outboard gear for that night?
Well, I think I'm using a Hammond and Leslie on this one. We try to get the promoters to use it to do a Hammond, and I think there's a second band that's playing with us that have a Hammond, so we're going to use that. So that's always going to be nice. And then I'll use maybe a Motif ES8 for piano, and I've got a small portable Hammond, an SK1, which is nice. It's a nice little piece of gear. It works great for rehearsals and everything, but I kind of like the big piece of furniture with the Leslie. There's just something about how it swells the band.
Yeah, man. And the band that's opening up for you guys is a group, local group in San Diego called Bum City. They're a Tower Power tribute band, but they cover it. They nail it, man. So for the listeners out there, it's going to be an overkill, a night of funk, for the lack of a better word, guys. You want to get out there and enjoy it. And Bump City is not going to be taking up a lot of time itself. So, you want to get there at the beginning of the show, give them some support, and then let them warm the seats up for CTA.
If they're doing that kind of music, please, man, you owe it to yourself to go out for that. I mean, the stuff that Tower stuff's always. Have you seen those guys lately? I mean, they're just insane great.
Just
great. They got a new singer, a really monstrous singer. Santana came by and stole him right away.
Yeah, his name is Bill is the youngest cat you've ever had. His name is Marcus Scott. He's from Tennessee. He actually sounds like a little bit of everybody, like Larry Braggs and like Ray Green. He sounds a lot. He's got the chops of even Lenny Williams.
Going.
Yeah, man, and he's found a place. Mimi's really, really happy. You know how Mimi is when it comes. Mimi's very much like you when it comes to vocals, man. It's like you're a no bullshit kind of a guy, and if you're not going to hang on the vocals, you're not going to hang with the band itself. So, that's what it's all about. And thank you for pumping those guys because they're killing it. They're going on 50 years next year, and they're still nailing it. And so, Bill, let me ask you this question regarding the CTA and everything else.
50 years? That can't be right.
50 years, maybe 19. Actually, they joined together as the Motowns in 1968 under the direction.
I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We started the Sons in 1965 because I know we were together before they were. So I mean, we must be already past 50.
Yeah, you're definitely already past 50. And Bill, let me ask you this question because it's only fair too. What's in your iPod? What's in your music shuffle? If I was to steal your car or your phone, what are you listening to today?
Well, lately I'm just listening. I mean, we've just had. I've probably told you about the CWF project, which is going pretty well in Europe and Scandinavia. Which is me. That's the C. Joseph Williams who sings lead with Toto, and Peter Friestedt, and we've just like the last couple of weeks, the last actually week, a little more than a week, we've been working on some new stuff for a new album for that project, and that's what's up. What I'm listening to is what I'm working on lately most of the time. Occasionally something will come through. Grady Nichols has got a Christmas album that I've kind of dug listening to. There's some really nice stuff. He had a full orchestra play on it. And Grady's he's a real close friend of mine, good sax player. Monstrous sax player, sweetest guy on the earth, one of the nicest, a real Christian guy, very nice family, everything. Whenever I go hang with him in Nashville or in Oklahoma, it's always a kick to hang with Grady. He's always just it's a little different than us Tourette syndromes for fun and profit kind of guys. You know what I mean?
Of course. And Bill, you've always been outspoken. That's what I've always respected about you. Let me ask you this question and share with the listeners. What is your true feeling about the music business today, or the lack thereof? What's your feeling about it?
Well, I think you said it all with the lack thereof.
Okay.
It's really hard. There's 360 deals. There's all kind. I just saw a movie the other day. An actor, and I forget what his name is in a band, and they're fighting it out with record company and stuff like that. Irving Azov's involved, and what they're being offered is a 360 deal, which means that the record company has 50% of everything you do for the rest of your life.
Right.
And it's the only way record companies can seem to make the kind of money that they want to make. Unless they have a Lady Gaga or somebody really giant, Katy Perry or whoever's the hottest at the moment. You know what I mean? Every once it used to be that the record companies would have one big star that they're selling, and they'd have a bench. They'd have people that they're developing back behind them. And nowadays they have the one big star. That's it. Nobody else is getting any favors. And they're not signing the bands. They're signing the managers, because they know if the manager can make the band happen, then they can pat themselves on the back by how good they did. And it's kind of down. A guy told me one time, he says the record companies really are there to manufacture the product, or to get it onto iTunes or whatever you do.
Right.
You know what I mean? However it goes. Spotify and Pandora and all those things are just ripping musicians off completely.
Of course it is. And Bill, let me ask you this question. With your longevity and with your ways, is it difficult for Bill Champlin to actually get into the doors of a record label, so they know basically a bullshitter can't bullshit a bullshitter? I mean, what's the difficulty if you strive forward to go there? Are they afraid to talk to you?
Look, I tried calling Warner Brothers one day. They don't even have a receptionist anymore. Unless you know the extension number of who you're going to call, you can't get through. Nobody's, and I understand that at some level, the major record companies, I think, unless like I say, they're not signing the bands, they're signing the manager. They're signing the management. Now, does the management have the wherewithal and the backing to bring this off? Then I guess the music's okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
I guess I imagine there's A&R positions at record companies, but I don't know how much they really have to do with anything anymore.
It's a shame, man.
Especially when you look one artist.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
But don't you miss the record release Tuesdays? Don't you miss going to Tower Records and just kind of rifling through the bins and just kind of getting a vibe, that smell?
Absolutely. Everybody does. It's like something happened here, and nobody's quite sure what it is. And I think a lot of what it has to do with is that somebody has decided that intellectual properties belong to everybody. You ask any college kid whether he should pay for music, and he'll say absolutely not. Music should be free. God wants music free. Now, that college kid hasn't had to buy a Pro Tools rig, has he?
Never.
Because I just took my Pro Tools, and I had 7.2, and I've had it since I was in Nashville. But I just took it up to 11.4, and to build it and get it all put together, the whole mess cost me in the neighborhood of $12,000. Now, why should music be free when it cost me $12,000 just to get the equipment to make the music, let alone the time and the electricity?
Absolutely, and the fact, Bill, that there's still 38 Tower record stores in Japan. Yeah. Explain that. I don't get that. I never will. If it's working there, why can't it work back out in the States?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Who knows?
Somebody somewhere missed the boat. Now, I'll tell you one thing that I think it'll probably start to come back. But I think one place where the record companies missed the boat was when everybody started sending MP3s to each other.
Right.
MP3s don't sound as good as WAV files.
Bottom line.
And the MP3s are 16-bit. They're 16-bit. You know what I mean? It's just the speed is wrong. The whole thing is it's as low as it can. It's as low as you can get. Even a WAV file at 16 is better than an MP3. Now the record companies, when everybody started sending out the MP3s, they should have raised the price and said, we are now putting out DVD records. In other words, 24-bit records. If you listen to your music on a entertainment system in your house, you probably notice that your CDs sound a little thinner than your movies.
Right.
Because your movies are DVD, and that's 24-bit. We all record in 24-bit, but what ends up happening is we got to take it down to 16 to get it on a CD.
Of course.
And then if you send it through the mail, it goes from that WAV file, it goes down to an MP3. So, I mean, the record companies could have gone, this is how the music is supposed to sound. And that really is how the music's supposed to sound. I mean, this whole digital world just put us, it made it simple. But, I mean, the minute we started doing digital recording, most of digital recording, everybody was saying, we're better than that guy because we sound more like tape. Well, what's wrong with tape,
Exactly.
Alan Hertz, who does mixing for me and a lot of people, he's a great mixer. He's also a great drummer and good musician, and he just bought a Studer machine. A 24-track machine. We've mixed something of Tamara's, a song called Dreamin' of Chagall. We mixed it with Alan, and he kind of mastered it. He says, I'm not a great mastering engineer, but I'll try to master this as good as I can. He says, let's fly it over to 2 tracks of the 24-track, and then fly it back. So we flew it from Pro Tools over to the 24-track. And at Pro Tools, the sound files looked like real jagged. Went to 24-track, and he came back. When it came back, it looked like a caterpillar. It just looked warm and fuzzy. And it just made a giant difference in the sound. And we didn't record the thing on 24-track. We just manipulated a little bit of the final mastered record. And it was just the last little touch, and it was just awesome. It was just like, oh, wow, you can really hear the difference. So I think a lot of they did a medical nervous system test and they recorded some music, and they recorded it 2 ways, but it was the same actual performances. One they recorded with digital, with the very latest in digital, and the other they recorded with tape. And then they played it for people, and they tested their nervous system and their nervous system reaction. The digital treated the nervous system badly. It was non-productive, and it wasn't good. The music from the tape treated the nervous system well. The nervous system reacted to it positively rather than negatively, and the digital treated the nervous system negatively.
Interesting.
I just read this. I think in a some kind of magazine, a mixed magazine or something.
Hey guys, we got about 30 seconds left.
Hey, Bill, we got 30 seconds left. Bill, do me a favor real quick in 30 seconds. Tell everybody where we can find Bill Champlin, Tamara Champlin, the Sons of Champlin, and CTA. Give the URLs real quick, please.
Well, I'm at BillChamplin.com is one place. And then there's a Bill Champlin page on Facebook, Tamara Champlin on Facebook, and then that'll send you to all the other little Champlins and Sons and all the other stuff on Facebook and like that.
And everybody, guys, do everything, please. This coming weekend, Music Box, San Diego, February 5th. Go down and see the boys.
It's something you shouldn't miss because, who knows how long something like this is going to just keep going. So grab it while it's flying because it's and the last handful of gigs we've been playing, we've been smoking it. So
there you go, Bill. Hey, Bill.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al Di Meola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear from Eclectica Studios. I'm a full-time mixing and recording engineer. I work with Grammy winners, labels, and indie artists, using state-of-the-art digital mixing and restoration tools and the very best in analog gear. Really, though, it's my ability to bring tracks to life and fulfill your vision for your music. This has made me sought after by producers and artists worldwide. So spend your time working on music and not chasing a mix down a rabbit hole. Go to timdolbear.com and check out our free one-song mix offer.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on Intertalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.